Hey everybody, trying to keep myself in the habit of recordings. I know it's one of those things. It's like if you want to do this, you gotta be consistent. And I know I'm anything but consistent. But hey, we can pretend. Now, let's see. We've got catastrophic failure. I just finished using up all my tickets for it. I've got a pretty good score. 26K is. I mean, it's not the worst score. The place where I keep getting stuck is that wheelie. And it's not that I'm stuck on it. I mean, I can get 8,000 on that wheelie. It's just trying to do it consistently is so hard. And it's always the dumb things. You're going down some hill and the tailgate of your truck gets caught on something and flips your front end down, and you're just like, ugh, well, screw that. No, I'm just going to relax tonight for this video and have some fun. Let's see, we're in Backwater Bog. Look at my cars here. Which car do I think I can improve on? Let's take the what do you call it? The sports car out for a spin. Alright, Backwater Bog. That's a pretty good kit. Let's try putting that one back on. Now, it's been a pretty interesting week for politics with the G7 summit going on. I hope some of you are out watching it. I usually watch things like this, but I haven't actually gotten around to watching things. I've heard a lot of pretty negative things about the performance of our current president, but I'm going to withhold my opinion until I know for myself what's really going on over there, because I don't trust a word in the media, left or right, these days. If it bleeds, it leads tactics. It doesn't matter who it is, left or right. They're always going to have their sacrifices ready. And I'm pretty sick of playing the game. If you know what I mean. They'd make much more headway with me if they weren't so busy trying to convince me that whichever one it is, that the other side of the divide, I'll call it, is not just wrong but evil as well, and that's something you'll never convince me of, because I have some very good friends on both sides, and they will give you the shirt off their back and teach you everything you need to know to earn your own way in this world and have fun doing it. Wonderful people. And you really do yourself a disservice if you don't, or if you refuse to be friends with somebody just because of their particular political leanings. And this is something I had to get over with my sister as well. My sister is very, very much on one side of the spectrum, and it's not the side I usually land on. And we've had to learn to just let it be. Oh, come on. No. Stupid navigators. And so we'll have a gathering with the family, and I'll make some offhand comment, and she'll have a reply ready. She always does. It's funny how you can listen to whoever your favorite commentator, and they'll say things like, "Now the people on the other side, they'll have no answer to this." Well, they always do. They always have an answer, and it doesn't matter which side you're talking to and who the other side is. never let yourself be convinced the other side doesn't have an answer for something, because they always do. It's one of those funny things, because it really is two different realities. The same facts feed two very different realities. And the only real difference I can make out between the two is, do you do your own research or do you not? Do you let the TV do the thinking for you? Or not the TV anymore, it's the internet. Do you let YouTube do your thinking for you? Or do you go out and do some research of your own? I wish I was better at doing my own research. I just don't have time. Or I don't choose to make time for that. I got too many more useful things to do with my day. 6 kids. They keep me busy. I do try to stay informed. I try to pick news sources that run the middle ground between the two warring factions. And I don't make any bones about the fact that I definitely lean conservative. I don't try to let it make, enemies out of my friends who aren't. Although I do enjoy putting my finger in their eyes on occasion, because I'm just a jerk that way. You spend your time getting caught up on all the things going on. You want to be able to talk to people about it. You want to feel informed enough to actually hold a conversation with people. It's how you convince yourself that you've actually paid enough attention so you can have these conversations. When people come by and tell you can't talk about that because it just makes people angry, it's like, well, that's, come on, that's one of the things you do this for, so you can talk to people about it. They call it the great debate or the great conversation. And one of the things that we're trying to teach our kids is how to be a part of this great conversation. And if we do nothing but tell them to sit down and shut up once they've actually got an opinion, then we're just telling them that we don't care where you are on this great conversation. We only want you to listen to us. And that's not any kind of position that has any kind of longevity to it. They're going to have their opinions, and you're going to have to listen to them. I know my mom hates listening to me when I'm right. Shoot. I flew right over that one. Yeah. My mom does not like listening to me when I'm right. She will fuss and moan and whine and complain. It's funny, she was getting all crazy about a celebrity who's popular in the state I live, coming out of the closet as gay. And my sister and I both had the same reaction. We're like, it's not the biggest deal in the world, obviously. As a celebrity who's also, religious, coming out as gay is a very difficult move. And anybody that I've talked to that's also gay has said much the same things, especially in a religious community. Coming out is a very difficult thing to do. Daunting prospect. You face a lot of blowback from the people when they should be loving you, because that's what Jesus taught us to do, is love people, not hate them. We're supposed to mourn with those who mourn and help those who need help. And I don't recall any scripture saying unless they're gay. And so that was my sister's reaction, and I both had the same reaction. And my mom was like, But there's all these things in life that he's gonna miss out on, and he's never gonna be able to do these things. Like, just because he's gay doesn't mean he can't do those things. You can still get married. You can still have a family and be gay. This isn't the big deal you're making it out to be. And she got so mad at me. She was like, "Oh, how could you possibly say these things? How can you call yourself a Christian?" I was like, well, how can you sit there and judge people like that and pretend that you are? And she tells me this long story about my Uncle Klein. She says people would ask him for opinions about cars, and he would tell them, well, he would ask them, "Have you purchased the car or not?" And if they said, "Yes, we've already purchased the car," then he would say a few good things about the car and shut his mouth. But if they had not yet purchased the car, then he would tell them everything he knew about the car, good and bad. She said, "Why do you suppose he would do that?" I said, "Because if they'd already made the decision, they don't really want to know what's good and bad about the car. They've already made their choice. If they want to talk about it at all, usually they just want to talk about the car." Stupid alligators. They want to talk about the good decision they made. They want to talk about their new baby. I mean, I know I love my car. You guys have seen my car, at least if you're in my Discord, or the Unity Discord, you've seen my car. I love that car. Such a good car. If you're interested, it's a 2013 Volvo C70 T5. And it's white, and I put a flame down the side. It looks pretty dang sweet. Hardtop convertible. I am now a convertible guy. But I live in Utah, and it's a very religious community, or it's not religious. Beside the point. I live in Utah, and Utah has the craziest weather of anywhere on Earth, pretty much. You never know what it's going to be like, and so it has to be a hard top. Soft tops do not last here. I had a point I was going somewhere with that, and I don't remember where I was going with it. It was about my car. Why I love my car. People love to talk about the thing. Oh, Uncle Klein. Yeah, I'll get back on my train of thought still. So Uncle Klein, why does he say that? Why does he tell them everything if they have about the car? And I was like, well, because they're looking for an opinion about what's a good car to buy or not. And if they've already bought it, then they just want somebody to pat them on the back for a good decision. And if he were to tell them the negative things about the car, then they would just hate the car they have after they just bought it, and then they would resent him for making them hate the car. Not a good plan. So he was very wise move in holding the negative feedback. And the reason why, well, I'm still not sure exactly why she told me the story, though. Apparently it made sense to her in her mind, because when I start to think about that story, I think of, well, here we got a story of a guy who's made a decision about his life, and one of the three of us involved in the story, me and my sister and my mother, one of them is freaking out about the decision and saying all the negative things that goes with it, and the other two are trying to find the good in it, and it's not her. So it's like, even by her own example, she's not living the principles she's trying to teach us. And what do you do with people like that? You just love them anyway. You just smile and move on. No point in getting all frustrated about it. She's just my mother. I'm gonna get in trouble. She's gonna see this one of these days. Yeah, I got that feel this time. Woot! Cruds. I got myself into a situation here. Let's back up a little bit. ones. If that one hadn't fallen apart, I would have bounced up at the roof, and I would have been fine. Alright, this video's gone on long enough, and I've ranted about all sorts of crazy things, so I hope some of that was useful to y'all. Have a good night.